Hey everybody, and welcome back to another show, The Magic Carpet Ride. So Bitcoin, Doge, Hex, Pulsechain, TitanX, Volt, and Vyper. We're going to be talking about that and more. We're going to be talking about the political situation leading in for this Bitcoin rally. Obviously, we're looking for the big Magic Carpet Ride in the months ahead. We've already kicked it off really strongly ahead of target for Bitcoin for sure, leading into Christmas rally. So exciting time so far. Let's get into it, and don't forget to get in the chat there, say hello. We're streaming on 3 YouTube channels, of course, Hex Token channel, Superman Crypto, and Pulsechain X, over 10,500 subscribers. Thank you to everybody for your support. If you're new, of course, smash the likes buttons, hit the subscribe button on the way, and share the channel around if you love to talk about crypto coverage. We also put a bit of politics in there for some magic sauce, since we're talking about magic carpet rides. Must have some sauce on the Magic Carpet Ride too. So there we go. Get in there, folks. Get in the chat and make it lively. If you haven't joined our Discord, the link's in the video description. It's a private Discord. Pulsechain and Hex Discord, it is $5 a month. But we'd also have a private strategy club in there. That's $35 a month. So get in on that as well. Really good value there. And we're just passing intel there nonstop. So get on that one. All right. What else should we talk about? Let's get into it. Let's get ready to rumble. We've got the stock market results, of course. What's the stock market results? Let's have a look here for Wednesday. So let's go straight into that, and we're going to get the economic news and then get into crypto. Actually, we're going to go politics, then crypto after that. So there we go. Let's have fun. All right, so we had the stock market S&P 500 ekes out gain as yields rebound to cool recent rally. So let's have a look at there. We got the Dow Jones is up 0.1%, 47 points to 43,958. That is, let's quickly check the chart. Look at the max there, and of course we're up near record highs, all that good stuff at the moment. The Dow S&P 500 pretty much flat, up 1.4 points, 5,985. Nasdaq is down 0.03%, 45 points to 19,236. We got the US dollar is really strong, so it's headed the opposite direction to where we might think it would go with interest rate pivots. We're at 106.4. The strength of Trump's leadership and the rallies really doing well for the US dollar there. Let's go to commodities. We got West Texas at 68, Brent oil at 72. So they're fairly modest at the moment. Gold at 2,577 is flat. Silver is slightly flat as well, at $30.41 on silver. So there's the commodities. Let's get to the economic news though. We had CPI inflation data coming out, and of course you guys know we've got the next interest rate decision in December. So data released on Wednesday showed the headline consumer prices rose 2.6% last month on an annualized basis compared to 2.4% in September. Month on month, the figure came in at 0.2%, matching September's pace. The core reading, stripping out more volatile items like food and fuel, rose 3.3% year on year and 0.3% on a monthly basis, in line with September. So the good news is these figures were all in line with expectations. Soothed concerns for Fed President Neil Kashkari had warned on Tuesday that any surprises in inflation could see the Fed keep rates steady in December rather than getting another rate cut. This supports calls for a 25 basis point cut in December. So that is good news, and bets on December rate cut jumped to 90%, up from 60% prior to the day. So that's all good. Treasury yields rebounded off the session lows to keep a lid on the upside in stocks. That's kind of the play there. Let's have a quick look at the Fed rate monitor at the moment for interest rate cuts coming in December. Remember, we've had 75 basis points so far, which is 0.75%, and we've come down from 5.5 down to 4.75% so far. We're 4 weeks and 6 days and 19 hours to go until the next meeting in December the 18th. So still quite a while away, really. And we've got 85% at the moment of the market expecting another 25 basis point cuts down to 4.5, and 15% of the market expecting a no change. But I think we're putting in the edge in with that 25 basis point cut. That would give us 100 basis points or 1 percentage point for the year, getting us down to 4.5%. That's good news. Obviously, cheaper money means that people have to take some risk on to get better yields. So that's kind of the play. And of course, cheaper money also means that the real economy is likely to perform better, albeit at a lagged rate in the future. So there we go. Let's have a look at the actual U.S. presidential race at the moment. Obviously, Trump has won the U.S. president as president-elect. He went and saw Biden in the last 24 hours, and Biden seemed very happy that he was handing over it so he can go on holiday permanently rather than just 50% of the time. And we got the Senate, of course, Senate race there. We've got 53 Republicans, 47 Democrats. Obviously, there was some very, very dodgy stuff going on in Arizona and no doubt a few other places in the country. So it's going to be interesting to see that where that heads. But 53 to 47 is the balance of power to the Republicans. So the Republicans have the presidency, they have the Senate. And on that note, on the Senate, they had a secret ballot today. Now, these secret ballots are terrible. They should be public, right? So obviously the Senate has faced a lot of criticism about being part of the Uni Party and all, a bit of an elite organization. Obviously, it's required to pass, confirm laws and also support judges, and yeah, so very important there. And of course, the cabinet members for the presidency to run the administration. We got the Senate Majority Leader elect on board with Trump. So this is the big question: Will the John Thune, who won the secret ballot there on a second round, I think it was with 24 votes, announced plans to enact an ambitious agenda to advance President-elect Donald Trump's policies? This is very fundamental, of course, and particularly we want him to fast-track the cabinet appointments rather than stall them up to 2 years. They could put cabinet positions, delaying those. So this is critical. And so far, Thune has won. He says this Republican team is united. We're on one team. We're excited to reclaim the majority and get to work with our colleagues in the House to enact President Trump's agenda. And of course, Trump winning the popular vote in the United States as well. So this gives him a very big agenda to run. And of course, Thune said that the GOP majority aims to address issues he claims were exacerbated under Harris-Biden. Clean up the mess left by the Harris-Biden and Schumer agenda, who obviously was running the Senate for the Democrats. So Thune said he's got key focus areas: stricter enforcement of border security laws, reducing bureaucracy, and of course achieving economic energy dominance. So those are three pillars of Trump's agenda. We will make sure the president and his team have the tools and support they need to enforce border security laws and to remove violent criminals who are wreaking havoc on everyone in our states. Of course, everyone knows that if you've been looking at that, it's pretty bad. American energy dominance is another one there. We have an ambitious agenda, and we'll take each and every Republican working towards it. So far, so good. Now, obviously, there were other people did, especially part of the MAGA movement, did want to get Scott in, but that was not the case. So we'll see. Hopefully, Thune does deliver. It is a pretty crucial role for delivering Trump's agenda there. And of course, we know that's freedom, security, and prosperity for all. And we are looking for common sense back into government rather than left-wing radical ideology, which was going to be imposed on all the people, not just the United States, but of the world. So that is good news, I guess. We'll keep a watch on this one. Thune has to deliver within 30 to 45 days. So let's keep a lookout for that. The other thing, of course, was the fact that the House is also pretty much shoot in now for being called by most for the Republicans as well. Here on, of course, AP, we've still got slightly short there, 217, but most people have called 218 plus. And so, yeah, that is where we are on that. And, of course, we had the Speaker of the House get nodded back to Speaker Johnson. So he's going to keep that. He's really had no one challenging against him. Seems to be coming in line under Trump. And with the controlling the presidency, the Senate, and the House, the full agenda can be taken now. No more Democrat shenanigans. So you don't have Pelosi and Schumer and people like that around. So this is super bullish for the world, basically. I mean, it's not just America, but the world. Progressives hate it, of course, but progressives are basically Marxist authoritarians. They want to impose their wacky worldview on the rest of us, their fantasy land on the rest of us. And so we're back. The adults are back in the room, hopefully, and we will get that freedom and enjoy our crypto gains as well. So that is good news all round generally. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Now, obviously, the third item, not only the Senate and the House, but also Trump's executive, right, has to appoint his cabinet members. So tracking Trump's cabinet picks. We've already got a really great lineup. I mean, this is like a dream team and are looking really good. There's a couple of appointments I would have a watch on. But apart from that, I'm super impressed. So Chief of Staff, of course, is Susie Wiles. She's very very introverted person, but extremely accomplished. So chief of staff has been, I think, the campaign manager or something like that for Trump. So chief of staff, a big role there. If you want to get to the president, you really have to go through the chief of staff generally, as far as I understand. Now, Marco Rubio is coming in for the Secretary of State, a very powerful role. And of course, I question mark over Marco Rubio from my point of view. But we'll see. We'll see where he heads up. Probably more of a traditional GOPer, maybe a neocon. We shall see. But obviously, Trump's got enough confidence in him to do the role. So there we go. I know he's pro-NATO. Trump's generally critical of NATO. He's not against NATO, but he's critical of it. And so we'll see how we go. Now, as far as I know, we haven't got the Treasury up. We've got the Defense, Pete Hegseth there on Fox News. I think it was. He's really great. Real war hero, super smart guy. So looking forward to good stuff from there. My favorite pick so far, Matt Gaetz. I love Matt Gaetz. And of course, he's going to be the AG of the Justice Department. How the irony. Oh, the irony of it all. Can you believe it? How crazy is that? So Matt Gaetz. And of course, we know I was at the FBI. Justice Department tried to duel him over and his family, but he's now going to be heading it up. That is justice for you. God's got the last laugh, right? God's always got the last laugh because AG Matt Gaetz. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's going to be amazing. He's, for me, I don't know, it just seems the most talented all around in the GOP. And it's great to see him in such a powerful role. So there's lots of other roles haven't been filled. DHS has got Kristi Noem, who I really like. And we've got EPA-led Lee Zeldin there. Zeldin, I should say. So that's really good news. We've got Tulsi Gabbard in ODNI, and so National Intelligence. Now, Tulsi is, for me, another Rubio, but is in the inner circle of Trump these days. So we'll see. We'll see how she goes. Certainly a better pick than Rubio, in my view. But, yeah, we'll question mark there. Elise Stefanik, she's a powerhouse. And she's going to be going to the UN, so that's really great news. And then we've got CIA Director John Ratcliffe, another good pick. So really strong lineup so far. A little question mark over Marco Rubio and possibly Tulsi Gabbard. But so far, I really love this lineup. This is a dream team lineup. Now, in addition to this, of course, we've got Elon Musk and Vivek going to be heading up the Department of Government Efficiency. That hasn't really been set up, and of course, it's probably going to cross over all of the departments, and they're going to cut. We might see whole departments go and stuff like that. So the deep state is going to be ripped out. The Democrat progressive control of American society is going to be ripped out. Climate change ripped out. All these fake narratives, and of course, for those of us who study it intellectually, it's they're all jokes, right? They're all just propaganda. So it's great to see these people pulled out. So very cool lineup so far. Still 16 open positions: Treasury, Interior, Agriculture, Commerce, Labour, HHS, HUD, DOT, Energy, Education, VA, CEA, SBA, OMB, OSTP, and Trade. So lots to still fill in there. And of course, you need that thune from the Senate to really get these across the board very quickly. So that's what we'll be looking forward to. So that's bullish. Obviously, Trump's pro-crypto. You're talking about Bitcoin reserves and many other things, getting rid of Gary Gensler, who I think resigned already possibly. So that's all good news there around that. So bullish for crypto. And that means Bitcoin is back on the rise here, 89,619. Can you believe it? But before we get into that, let's say hello to a few people in the chat. We've got Brennan and House. Howdy, Superman and family. Hey, Brennan, hope you're doing well. We've got Wookie as well. Wookie is around. He is indeed. We can see him. We've got Hexavator in House there. What's up, folks? Now, speaking of Trump, Trump loves construction and building. Hexavator is full on actually doing that building in the United States. A big shout out to Hexavator. We do appreciate your service. It really is a big deal, building infrastructure in the United States. If you haven't been there, the United States needs a lot of infrastructure overhaul. The bill that the Democrats ran through was pretty much not a lot of that money is actually going to construction and infrastructure in the United States. It's going to a lot of their mates, So we really need to see that infrastructure bill be redone so that the money actually goes to new bridges, new roads, and things like that. Very important. And let's see how that goes. We got Tintop and Alce. What's up, Hexkin? So good to see Tintop. We got Lasse Rafin in house. Good to see you. And Hexbase says, top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. I was just tinking it the other day. In fact, we're going to be talking about Tink later on. So hopefully it'll be fun. Tindot says, Richard Hart for Director of Department of Pump Mentors. I like that. or Richard Hart for director of Magic Carpet Ride. I don't know, you decide, but they're both good. They're both good. We got Archie in the house there, the Don of Dons. Hey, good to see Archie. Hi, all. The hits keep coming. It's great time for freedom and security. Absolutely, Archie, you're 100% right. And hey, look, I'm not talking about Mafia today, but apparently the Mafia map is coming in a few days' time. We're getting a lot of teasing there from Cult DeFi. So who knows? Fingers crossed there. And I see that Archie has taken back #1 spots on both Pulsechain and BNB. So it just shows you how good the Don of Dons is. Big shout out to Archie there, and of course Max Payne and all the rest in the 4 families that the directorate controls. It's onwards and upwards there. All right, let's get back into it. Crypto, and of course, let's get into that. So we've got BDC at the moment on a bounce back after a little pullback. $89,743, up 1.68%. Bitcoin dominance, 58.53%. So we're still waiting for altcoin season, and not quite there yet, but Bitcoin hitting very, very aggressively to the upside. Ethereum at the moment is back down 2.8% to 3,186. BNB down 2.16% to $618. XRP down 4.4%, 68 cents. ADA down 1.44% there at 57 cents. Now, ADA's obviously had a really good run. We've seen Hodgkinson obviously powwowing it with some of the people from the Trump's administration. So it's looking pretty bullish. Solana is down slightly at $213. Tron is Tron. We got Tron, TRX. No. We got Litecoin is down 3% there as well. So that's pretty much it. Actually, clicked on that one. Let's jump over to Bitcoin though and have a look at the chart on the daily. This is Coinbase, and we're going to scroll that up actually. So we've still got our golden cross playing out very nicely. So far, we have got to a high of $93,495 today. Is that insane? We've already reached our target. Look at the target we had sitting in here. You guys remember we had the target here in December, 90 to 100K. We've already hit that, folks. Really is cool. In fact, right now it's 90,000 on Coinbase. We've already hit that target, and we're in the zone now. It'd be good to consolidate here. That is very, very exciting. So yeah, well done to everybody. All-time highs getting broken on Bitcoin. Fantastic. And of course, we've got another interest rate coming up in December as well, if we wanted a bit more. So so far everything's going pretty good. Let's see how we get to. So between March here, we've got the next target being 150 to 180K, potentially by April. And of course, we're probably going to have an elongated bull run, barring anything in the real economy, right? So, these interest rate lags, they sometimes can be unpredictable, and maybe they take a lot longer to play out with high interest rates. So we'll see whether the real economy gets hit at all. And then, of course, if it's going to get hit, you might as well have the best team possible in the government, which is Trump and his super smart A team, because you're going to be able to deal with that if it does occur during Trump's early presidency, is my guess, for 2025. But still, feeling very good about the rally in 2025. So bring it on. Maybe we'll even get to that 250,000 by maybe Q3 or something. But anyway, looking very good for the bull market cycle here for crypto. And of course, we're looking forward to altcoin season and the banana pumps, right? Where the mag gains are just insane. And we're looking forward to that. So bring it on. We've got Bitcoin ETF is doing well, obviously. So we look at the inflows here, Bitcoin ETF net inflows. We can see we've had a big uplift recently, particularly IBIT. Look at these flows coming in, absolutely huge, $1 billion flows coming in. It's fantastic, right? So that is always leverage, right? So $1 billion comes in, gets leverage and multiplied there. So yeah, really, really bullish. Look at the orange line. That is the BTC price rising up as well. So exciting times. The last 5 days, absolutely awesome. In fact, you can see even back further here into early October, we've had some really good positive green flows in there with only a few outflow days. So looking good. And we can see that on the table, we got IBIT at the top there, dominating at the moment. So very, very excited to see that. Assets under management, 17 billion. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust still sitting at 19.65 billion. And Fidelity at number 3 there, just under 10 billion. We've got ARK 21 behind that, 2.85 billion there. Assets under management, or AUM. So very, very cool stuff happening there with the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, we didn't have these around the previous halvings, right? So this is really going to help fuel those big prices that everyone's thinking about. You're thinking of, we say $250,000 Bitcoin. That's where you're going to get major capital flowing through these ETFs for the first time ever. Now, Bitcoin returns, let's have a look where they're at the moment. We're at 27.13% for November so far, and we are only halfway through November, so we're looking very good indeed at the moment. We're up 8.8% last year equivalency. So that Christmas run playing out like a dream right now, and Trump's really the key to that. It's been awesome. Bitcoin halving, you can see we're starting to get, we're after this banana part of the bull market. We're after this part here, we've seen in 2017, 2020, even back here, 2013. We're after that part of the market, the banana part, and it looks like it's just starting, doesn't it? Just starting to happen. So mad gains to everybody. You guys made it. Magic Carp Ride is started. It's going to be pretty awesome. So bring it on. Now, Ethereum, of course, has also had a big rally. It was down at 2,351. It's got its high so far of 3,446. We're still miles away from the all-time high, though. Bitcoin is smashing all-time highs. Ethereum has not, and we're still waiting for that, Ethereum to Bitcoin ratio to hit that top and then get altcoin season. So we're still waiting for that part of the market. That's really when things are going to really get fun. But yeah, this market's, I think this rally is going to be insane. I think people's going to blow minds, so get ready to have your mind blown. That's pretty much it. So that is that on Ethereum. We're currently at $3,185. And of course, we've got to get back to 4,900 approximately to break new record all-time highs. Our last high, if you remember, was 4,100. So we've got a bit more work to do there, but everything's heading in the right directions. What does it mean for all the other EVM chains? What does it mean for Pulsechain? Can only be good things, right? Only good things. Now, the other thing is, of course, you can see the yellow line there. That's a 50-day moving average. The blue line is up here, slightly higher. So we've got $2,700 50-day moving average, $2,800 just below that. So we've got about $100 to close out, but we're heading in the right direction to close that out and get a golden cross. That's what we're looking forward there on the daily. That brings us into memes. Now, look at memes. I mean, gosh, look at this. Dogecoin, the Department of Government Efficiency, Elon Musk there, up a massive 100% for the 7 days. So 2x there, $58 billion. You guys remember, we were looking at this when it was $9.5 billion. Remember that? Now it's a 58 billion, crazy, up 2.25% at the moment. We've got SHIB up 15 billion there, up 33%. Pepe is up 101% as well, so another 2x there at 8.5 billion. Dog with Hat up 71%, 4.1 billion. Everything is up, folks. Bonk is up 63%, 2.7. So we've got lots of billion meme coins here. Floki up 62%, etc. We got Peanut, of course, if you've seen that around. Peanut there up 1,168%. That's up pretty awesome at 1.7 billion. So new Peanut there in the mix. I think Elon Musk was pumping that out. I think we got Brett here, Brett on base chain up of 1.3 billion, up 40%. So lots of good stuff happening amongst here. Now we're going to look for Dog. Obviously, we're back in Dog for the win, and Dog is all the way down here at the moment. 373 million market. Down 15% for the week, 10% is today, so most of that today. And we're still waiting for the tier 1 exchanges. That's pretty much it. What will happen to Dog when we get that? Who knows? But you're probably increasing liquidity provision there by 100x. So keep a lookout for that. Super bullish on Dog. Number 1 meme coin on Bitcoin. Certainly going to have a big challenge against Dogecoin. But yeah, let's see what happens here if we can get those tier 1 exchange listed. We're looking forward to that. All right, we're getting to the Pulsechain next. Let's do that. Yes, sir. Who else has jumped in here? We got any comments there? Just Wookie there spamming the chat. He's our moderator, but he loves spamming the chat. I don't know what's going on there. Might have to get him in timeout. Let's see what happens. See what happens. All right, so let me just change the view here. All right, if you're new to the channel, if you smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell. We got day 551. So we're over 550 days on Pulsechain, can you believe it? Now, we got price of Pulse here, quadruple 0559. It is at 56% of the main sacrifice price, down 0.25%. We got Pulsex at quadruple 0321, down 1.3% at 32% of the main sacrifice price. Still tons of value here on Pulsechain, tons of value for the upside. The buy and burn there at 1 trillion and at 70 billion, 5.33% of all public Pulsex is being bought up and burned. So this is slowly just burning away in the background. And Ethereum token $2.18, up 1.1%, ticking away there about 47 million supply, give or take. We've got Hex at the moment, 1.88 cents. Hex is looking good. Now the key takeaway on Pulsechain, Hex is looking good. It's up 3%, and EHEX at 2 tenths of a penny. EHEX is on the weak side. people favoring the PHEX, and we got EHEX and PHEX combined price at 2.08 cents. But HEX on Pulsechain are looking hot and looking like it really could make that next move. We're going to check that out in a minute. Let's go to the key operational metrics on Pulsechain. We're going to go to the gas prices. We've got 220,000 beats, so it's not too bad. And Ethereum at the moment's had really elevated GUI during these pumping markets. We're at 77,000 times cheaper than Ethereum at the moment. So Pulsechain is a great place to do DeFi and GameFi and everything else you can possibly dream of. And people do appreciate it when, hey, look, I mean, the ETH prices could just get even more insane, even despite proto-dank sharding and second ladder protocols, EVMs, etc. So just remember that. We've got 48,715 active validators on Pulsechain, so full DeFi chain, and we've got bridge there, 112.3 million, pretty similar to 2 days ago, I think, when I was covering this. So maybe up a couple $100,000 there. That's kind of where we are at the moment. All right, so that is the old Pulsechain, day 551. Let's get into some of the charts here. We're going to have a look at HEX on Pulsechain, since this is the one that we've been calling for the driver. So far, so good. Let's have a look at the RSI. RSI on the daily, weekly here is 66. So plenty of room for upside here on the weekly. We can see these 3 weekly candles. We've also had a bullish cross from the 13 moving average weekly over the 34 weekly average, the purple line, and now also the 50 as well. So bullish cross over there on that. So we've crossed 2 averages there. So HEX is looking really, really, really strong. And what else are we going to say about that? That's it. So let's jump over to the daily. Have a look at that. So RSI still got a bit room to move. 69 is a bit hot, but still can move up above 70. And we've got this previous high that we had was at 1916. We're currently today we've been to 1964. So we're looking like we've got pretty room to move there. We could get up to 80 or so on the RSI and push a bit higher. So pushing a bit higher would be pretty nice, and maybe pop over that 2 cent mark. So 2.1, 2.2 or something like that. So keep a lookout for that. We've already had a long-term bullish cross on the daily, the 50-day yellow line over the 200-day orange line. So that's bullish. And we've already got another bullish cross on the short term. That pink line there is the 13-day over the 34-day, the purple line. And that's a bullish cross, right? So everything's looking pretty good for the old HEX. Let's see what the room is on the 4-hourly. Yeah, we've got plenty of room there, 60 on the RSI, and everything looking pretty bullish on the 4-hourly too. So HEX is looking hot. HEX on Pulsechain. All right, let's jump over to the other charts for the HEX derivatives. We've got base there. The 1 year is up at over 2 cents already. Maybe a bit of a future indicator there, up almost 10%. So base the 1 year Maximus staking pool. The 3-year one is up 7%. The 15-year one is at 2.2 cents. So we're already getting some leveraged play on that. So looking pretty good. All the HEX derivatives up there, even the DESI, the 10-year, and the Lucky, the 7-year. So kind of cool. Let's see where HEX goes from there. What else we got? We've got the stable coins. So look at, we had a rally in PDI, if you guys remember. Let's see how that's holding up. PDI is at 0.6 of a penny. So it looks like it's stalled out, down 3%, but still has done very, very well in the last week. Look at that. That's the weekly candle we had last week. Just started a brand new weekly candle. So not too bad there for PDI. We find out Rack and Rochelle's been buying PDI, and we've got a high of 7300th of a penny just 2 days ago. So it's taking a bit of a breather after that. A really nice rally. Look at that. Beautiful. And the RSI cooling off at 67. Let's see what the 4-hourly holds for us. Yeah, almost back down to 50. Maybe we'll get a bounce at the 50. Let's see how we go with that on PDI. So maybe the bounce has almost happened. We certainly bounced off 6,600, 5,700th of a penny there. So keep a lookout for PDI. Heading towards 1 cent, yeah. We got Sun Mini Mill, which is a little different, of course. It was trying to get back to $1.60, which is the price of a Sun Mini Mill there in Europe. And it is at 87 cents. So it got sold off after that bit of rally there too. Interesting one there. $1.60 is the target price for those meals. What else? Let's jump over to the influencer coins. Have a look at that. We've got Bromance, Ben Armstrong up again, 8%. Ben Armstrong V1, the copy is up 8% too. So Ben Armstrong's 2 tokens doing well. I don't think we ever got V2 copied over, did we? So we haven't got that one. Extra up 5%, not too bad at 28,000 there as well. Keep a lookout for SolidX. It is up 2.5% at $18.54, but we are working for that crash game in December. So that's one for the watch list there. having a look at Mafia game at the moment. We got Pulse Mafia at 00087. We're looking forward to the map coming out apparently in a couple of days' time, maybe by the weekend. We got Mafia on BNB at 00033. So these are all pretty discounted at the moment. So these are easy pickups. You just got to be patient. We just don't know when the full game will launch. We're obviously waiting for the big map. That is the first metaverse on Pulsechain. It's not just a big GameFi, but a metaverse as well, where you can make income and asset building. And of course, Pulsechain is so cheap to do things. It's going to be very, very accessible to people. So that is kind of where we are at the moment, and quite before the storm, I would say. And then we're waiting for withdrawals and deposits as well. But when will the game launch? December? I hope so. Some people are saying January, February. I mean, it is getting on. We hope we will get that in December. Obviously, there's a lot of hard work goes into it, not discounting all the work. I mean, there's months and months and months of work that goes into this to make a high quality GameFi on Pulsechain. This will definitely be the flagship GameFi on Pulsechain. And there's $450,000 worth of money in the vaults. That's only going to climb, right? As Pulsechain climbs, all that climbs. So it is a big, big deal. And we know that Jacobs pretty much is the number one GameFi dev in the world. So we're pretty much lucky to have him on Pulsechain. So we look forward to all of that. I do hope that they progress PUSD ALGO as well at a faster pace. So let's see where that comes in. Maybe it will be partly integrated into Mafia. I don't know. They're also doing all the big gaming consolidation that's supposed to be coming up before the end of the year. We're talking about Pulse Predict, Pulse Pot, BNB Pot, all that sort of stuff. Looking forward to Pulse Predict. So let's see what happens in that space as well. So lots of cool things potentially coming at the end of the year or in the new year for that. So fingers crossed for that one. Although I do think PUSD ALGO probably was an easy one to pick up there. So I don't know if Rack and Rochelle's watching, but if you want to get a 19% bonus, you use the link in the video description for the PUSD ALGO sacrifice. Let's get to that $1 million mark that we need to get to, which is about 2x from here to get that thing going. But you also, not only do you get the referral bonus 9%, but you also, if you do over $1,000, you get a bonus X, which could be up to 2x on that. So it's worth the 2 bonuses there for that one. The ultimate in stablecoin solutions coming to Pulsechain. Let's jump over with that. Let's have a look at the rest of the markets. Let's see here. We've got Pulsechain. Let's have a look at the overview. Looks like we got 29.4 million volume. So great. We're right in that middle zone of 25 to 45, right? So really happy with this number. Almost 30 million. That's a good number there. 333,000 transactions so far today. And some of the top ones moving other than Hex is XUSD. Die Hard there on the back of PDI. Lady Gaga there. So I've got quite a few meme coins up 9% there. Free Soul up 9%. Now Xburn up 10% there. Crow up 8%. And of course, we've got some of the others we talked about. Bromance. Tangang still hanging around. Hex Orange Dress up 6.7%. Peer up 6.3%. ALGO up 5.8%. Another Hex type of project. And of course, talk about Access Alive. So those are kind of the ones that are leading the pack today on the old Pulsechain. So that's pretty much it for Pulsechain. Let's see here. Let's see where else we got there. Brendan says PDI to $1. PDI to $1. Yeah, very much. Well, once we get that 1 cent, I guess 10 cents is in view. Day says no hat today. Bullish. Yeah, we've moved into the bull market now. So we've got the fast haircut. The fast haircut for that. Top Gun. We're going Top Gun. Literally Top Gun now. All right, let's see where else we're at. We're going to pull up TitanX ecosystem. Obviously had a couple of pullbacks in the last couple of weeks after huge run-ups, but things are only getting warmed up for the next run. It is looking pretty good with X28 and Shogun being the first killer app on X28. The tokenomics are incredible. And of course, at the moment, with prices down, quite a few of the burns are probably more effective with the exclusion of TitanX being down relative. So it's all relative play. But let's have a look at that and see where that is hanging out at the moment. So we're going to talk about TitanX, Volt, and Vyper, and of course Shogun coming X28 as well. Let's have a look at the rankings. We do have some green candles on the old TitanX ecosystem. Let's see here. Bam. Oh, that's not the one I was doing. Bam. There we go. All right. So we've got Lotus at the moment. It is up 13.6%. Now, obviously, they've got the new project coming up because there was a bit of a contract issue there with part of it in the maths, I believe, for Lotus. But that is going to be, that was launched on top of Vault, and that is going to have a new project called Eden coming, and I think we've had a few updates around that, so you can check those out on Lotus X social platform. We've got Helios is up 2.3%, so a little bit of gain there. Those are the two green ones at the moment on the last 24 hours. So we got Janus followed there, down 1.1%. Now X28, you put one TitanX in, you get one X28 out. So the price is pretty much pegged to the TitanX. If we have a look at the ratio, you can sort of see it's close to 1-to-1. Generally, it's 1-to-1. It's slightly below at the moment. But basically 50% of the TitanX that goes in there gets burned and destroyed. So this is really the medium of exchange from Omnichain. So if TitanX is the medium of exchange on Ethereum for the TitanX ecosystem, X28 is the medium of exchange for Omnichain. That means going multiple chains, mean where projects will be built on many other top volume chains. So they're going to be high volume chains. Volume is what you're after. So that's where you can garner your success. Now, obviously, we're waiting for Shogun to launch. The tokenomics is going to be pretty epic. And so we're going to probably see some big players move in suddenly, all of a sudden, into X28 and, of course, into Shogun. So we'll keep a lookout for that. Down 10.5%. So we're probably having, the necessary pullback in the market. Even Hex, when it did its 13 parabolics, had big pullbacks, 70% here. Things like that. So even on the way up, you get those volume plays before you get that next hyper parabolic in there. So I don't see any difference here with the TitanX ecosystem. But it has advantages because a lot of the buy and burns and things, all the bots are buying into the market. We're going to have a quickly check that out in a minute. Blaze is down 10%. Hyper. Now, Hyper is one to look out for. So if you're not in a strategy club, get into a strategy club. But Hyper is definitely one to look out for in the next week or so. We have got the Turbo pillar for Vault that is coming. That's going to be Hyper, the first project on Hyper. Got to be exciting. I guess second project because Titan Farms is out there already. But the next use case for Hyper is the pillar, and you're going to need Hyper to go into the system. It also has the Nexus buy and burn. That's got to be a good thing, right? It's got to be a good thing. I'm actually fairly impressed, even with the price performance at the moment with the pullback, with the way that the Vyper is operating at the moment. I think it's doing what it was designed to do. We are down 70% at the moment on that. So TitanX itself is the medium of exchange, of course. So think about TitanX as the medium of exchange on Ethereum. X28 is the medium of exchange for the Omni chain. This is where TitanX goes to multiple chains, and therefore the development, the second layer protocol ecosystem builds out on each of those chains and taps into the big vast volumes in there. So we're looking forward to that. Now, this should also open up more developer teams. We have heard of more developer teams coming in play on TitanX, so we should see some new names around. Obviously, we've got very popular ones around like the Blaze team, which is a whole ton of developers. We've got the Dude, and we've got Stevie D, of course, Eric, many others, Jake himself, and other developers coming in the mix. So looking for a boom there. Baby Dragon X down 9%. Ouroboros is the other big thing. So not only have we X28 big for this month and next month, we also have Ouroboros, the big lending protocol, is the third of the big DeFis. Expecting that to launch in this current week, the week that we're in now. So we might see that in the weekend possibly. If not, it may slip into next week. But Ouroboros is the next big one there. I haven't heard of any particular date launch for that. We will check TitanX up for that. That is down 9% at the moment, but keep a lookout for that. That's means it's a big supply thing for a lot of the protocols. It's a multiple token collateral, and so therefore the USDX that gets issued will also add some extra buy pressure as well, and of course extra incentives to get paid. So keep a lookout for that. That is big for the TitanX ecosystem. So we've got a couple of big things. This is the quiet before the storm after a bit of a healthy pullback. So these are in play at the moment. So keep a lookout for X28 and Ouroboros. We've got Morpheus just closed off, right? So that just closed off. So that's going deflationary now. I think it was closed off yesterday. So that is down 20% at the moment. Keep a lookout for Morpheus. They're going to have a lot of development there from Rag to Riches team. Now, Vault, obviously, they're from Stevie D, the mad genius or the mad scientist, they call him. That is down 20% at the moment. But a really nice entry for that. And obviously, everything is down if TitanX is down. So TitanX is down at the moment. So a lot of this is down in US dollars. What you're looking forward to relative to TitanX is the ratio, right, of each particular project. Element 280 is closed off as well. So this is last man standing. The last NFTs are there. So that's a lot of these protocols you can see going into deflationary mode. So there's this pullback at the moment. It's actually kind of a cool entry for people to get into, particularly around TitanX. If you're getting into that, that's the way to get into this ecosystem. Flux at the moment is down 23%. Tink Farms, 65 cents. Was holding up over 80 cents. Got pushed down about 56. 65 cents at the moment. But as everything rebounds, Titan Farms gets more valuable, and this is really close down to maybe around implied value at the moment. I haven't done a recent calculation, but it's kind of what I had originally, and it's funny that it's come down to that at the moment. DragonX is also one of the big powerhouses, right? We talk about Vault being a big powerhouse here, fixed token supply. DragonX is another one, and that is down 25% at the moment. Let's have a look at the ratio. The DragonX, we got just under 12, so 11.94 TitanX to 1 DragonX at the moment. So that's down a little bit. What else we got? Hydra. Now Hydra, of course, we're looking forward to that. Get some protocols launching on that. It'd be pretty cool to see that. At the moment, Hyper, which remember Hyper is a leverage play on TitanX. It's got a lot of Ethereum in there. So I guess that it gives a higher order of value, some people might argue. And of course, we've already got Titan Farms. We're going to have, Matrix from Mike Dean launching there. But the near term, the 23rd, is going to be a pillar from Stevie D, built on top of Vault. So that's going to accelerate the amount that's going into the Vault perpetual auctions, as well as being bullish for Hyper as an input. And Hyper has good volume, right? Good volume. There's good volume generally in Hyper as well. So it's one of the better volume protocols. Hydra, of course, needs a bit more love there as well. We've still got a few weeks until the big inflation, but still that's under pressure until we get some more support apart from Titan Farms. Ouroboros will be good for all of these, of course, so just take that into account because you'll be able to collateralize all those. LegionX at the moment, ticking away there, doing its thing. It's down 27%. JKX, the meme coin, was the number one performer yesterday. That is now down 28% at the moment at 0006. So it had a nice big pump and dump on that one, unfortunately. But remember that that's also tied to TitanX. So TitanX is down 20% or so. So there we go. AwesomeX, what do we call it? Inferno. Now we talked about DragonX and a Vault being the two fixed sort of store of values built on TitanX, while Inferno is the third one, and that is down 31.7% at the moment. But the buy and burn is really impressive now, up to 56% now is burned. So it's actually the front runner on the burn. It's on the front run on the burn. Can you believe it? And I think if I remember rightly, Vault is number 2 and DragonX, funnily enough, is number 3 in terms of percentages burned. So Inferno there was kind of not moving much, and now it's moved quite a bit there, 56% now burned. So keep a lookout for that. They've got lots of protocols, 5 protocols also coming on Inferno, so that's kind of pretty bullish. Pulsar, of course, benefiting from Pulsechain. That's down 32%, but that's something in more of a medium, longer term play. And I suggest that Element 280 is a bit like that too. That's down 34%. Vyper, of course, built on top of Vault there with the Vyper Dragon XP. That's down 38%. But actually, I've been recently impressed with the results going into Vyper, in particular the what am I saying? The Nexus, which is the first time I've seen the Nexus operate. It's a secondary buy and burn. Unfortunately, I can't pull it up on the screen, so I might have to pull it up on another one. But that's been operating pretty well on that. So everything not too bad. Let's jump over to TitanX Hub and have a look at future inflation because we have got the TitanX, and we knew that we have lots of stakes coming out, whale stakes coming out. We did have quite a few whales exit TitanX, so that's hence the price pullback. But we also have stakes coming out, and not too many. We've got a couple of big ones. There's a 2.2 trillion, etc. So we do have a bit more volume. We're going to see where we lie at the end of November, actually just before the end of November, with the amount of liquid stakes that we've got. At the moment, we've got 53.5 trillion liquid TitanX. Now, obviously, a lot of that's probably going to go through X28. And when Shogun comes up, Shogun does look like it's coming up very soon. And of course, went to order it, 2 days ago. So keep a lookout for that. And of course, in future inflation, we've virtually got nothing in TitanX. Look at it. That's the green stuff there. There is basically nothing coming out. We've got one candle there with 230 billion. Everything else is pretty tiny, really tiny, 58 billion, real small stuff coming out for the rest of the month there. And pretty much nothing, nothing by end of November. So pretty good. And we will find out where the inflation lines. And of course, then we're going to move into actual hyperdeflation after that. So it took a bit longer than a lot of people thought, but that's kind of where we are there at the moment. Now, the other thing, of course, is Titan Farms. When the prices were booming on TitanX, the volumes were booming, and therefore the fees were booming, and you could get lots of burning on Tink token, right? So we've got 16 million in liquidity volume at the moment. We got up to 45 or something like that. I can't remember the exact number, but it was somewhere in there. 45 million. So as this up and up and up, the fee, burns even more fees. But I've actually been pretty happy with the fee burn. 438,000 Tink has been burned so far versus a current supply of 2,671,000. Price of Tink at 65 cents, which is probably around, well, maybe it's slightly ahead, still slightly above a fair value, given the fees are probably low at the moment, but still ticking away pretty well. We've got lots of cool farms at the moment, and there's more features, right? So you can do My Farms Only, you can do Show Paused. Click that. So the only one paused so far in terms of the incentive is Vault Lotus. You can click that. It's a new feature there. You can also sort by APR and allocation points. So it's another way of looking at it. But so far, DragonX Hydra still doing very well, 281%, 200% for Orcs. TitanX, so Orcs is the Ouroboros, the lending platform. We got Rapid TitanX 176%, Hyper TitanX 175, Tink 148%. Dragon, what are the others? Another one. Those are kind of the higher performing ones. All the rest of them are earning yields as well, though. So if you've got some of those, you can go in there. Now, obviously, if TitanX rebounds, this liquidity will go up very fast. Like, it'll go 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 mil. We shall see. I'm very bullish about where this was going to go in the future. Only day 37. So still early days. Now, by the time we get to day 101, remember that day 101 is only 1% more inflation than the first 100 days, right? So it's going to have a little bit of that dynamics in it as well. So, yep, and the burning's going pretty well. How much we've got in the burn pool? 24,000 at the moment in the main burn pool there. But we've got all these burn pools operating. Now, the more farms that get pulled in here. Now, well, I think one of the farms that's not in there is Vault Dragon. So they could have that. It has high volume, at least has had high volume. So that's the one that could go in there. So there's probably at least one or two more farms they could add in on Titan Farms and increase those fees as well and get more Tink burning, right? Remember, Tink is fixed supply. So the more things, LPs you get in there, generating fees, you can burn more Tink. So it's probably something for Eric and that to consider. I'm sure they are. So that's kind of cool. So this is obviously doing very well. Element 280 still got lots of buy and burning in its contracts. And of course, we've got Ouroboros coming up with 3 big DeFis in TitanX. And of course, I would argue X28 is kind of like a DeFi. It is basically a way of channeling over layer 0 into other chains. So one could think of X28 like that, being a bit of a portal there. And of course, it's 1-to-1 and burns a massive amount of TitanX. And the key thing about X28 is that you're going to need to, if you've got liquid stakes, you need to match it with liquid TitanX, right? And therefore, that's a huge potential demand buy there, especially with Shogun coming up. So excited about that. At the moment, there's 511 billion X28. And of course, the protocols there is currently the LP pool, 308 billion in that. So keep a lookout for this. This is going to be really neat. And of course, we can't wait for the bridge to be enabled. It's currently not enabled at the moment. Bridge is not enabled. But we know we've got bridge access to all these high volume chains as TitanX is about to go omni-chain. So we've got base chain, Arbitrum, Optimism, BNB, Polygon, Avalanche, and Blast. So things are about to get real. And we're getting excited. Now we've talked about all that sort of stuff. So let's get into the future of projects. Before we do that, let's say hello to a few other people. We've got CodeDrex in the house. That'd be on the ground floor of Banana. I'm not sure what that's about. We've got Brian in the house. What's up, folks? Good to see you, Brian, our community leader. Big shout out to you. All right. Let me just. All right. Let me just jump over to what channel we're in there. All right. That's cool. All right. Let's jump into the future of projects. So obviously we've got the end of inflation pretty much out. I mean, there's a little bit left, but we've got all these second layer protocols coming. We've got all the buy and burns operating at the moment. There's buying, so generally lower the price, depending on what the buy and burn token is. They're probably burning more, right? So with the exception of TitanX being down, so there's a relative play in there. But at the moment, we've got all these projects coming up. The big one, of course, is USDX, the third big DeFi, a huge supply sink for TitanX and potentially additional demand and income earning potential there. That's USDX. That is talked about coming out. So let's see if there's any particular update on here. This is a very technical. I can't actually get access to that on this browser, but that's coming up. Let's jump through some of these other ones. We've got Matrix. Matrix super bullish for Hyper. This is from Mike Dean, the developer of TitanX Hub, the site that we're looking at the moment. So that is coming up. We have Warp coming up. That's coming up there. We got Wheel. These are all part of the summer pillars. We got Phoenix coming up. That's going to be pretty good. I think Phoenix is also a Hyper one. So Hyper's going to get a lot of love. So Hyper's definitely one to probably keep a lookout for there. Pretty sure this is a Hyper import token. Let's have a look here. Maybe this one uses TitanX. I thought this one was Hyper, but might be wrong there. Is it a TitanX? Yeah, TitanX demand. This is a TitanX one. So Phoenix TitanX, which is the one that got, but we'll talk about it already. So we got, is it Warp? Maybe it's Warp, the one above it. I don't know if it's Warp. Warp is, yeah, so this is going to be Hyper. It looks like Hyper in this one. Yeah, total Hyper burned. Yeah, so this looks like Hyper as well. So let me just jump over to the main page. Hyper sector. Yeah, I'm pretty sure usement Warp in the first days. ETH, TitanX, Hyper, and Tink. So there's 4 different tokens that are going to be used. So that's going to add extra value to Tink, right? Actually having a Tink project there. So that's kind of cool. So we've got, what do I say? We got Matrix for Hyper. We got Warp for Tink and Hyper, and that's pretty cool. What else we got there? We got Phoenix for TitanX. We got Bull coming up. Bull's for Inferno, right? So that's coming up. I think that's the end of the month for the November coming up to launch on there. We've got no countdowns on at the moment, so nothing's imminently launching. What else we got there? We got Mysteries coming up now that we're going to find out what that is. Probably coming up in December is my guess there. And what else? We got Alphax there. And remember, Vault's going to also have Thunder staking. I don't know if you hear that. Vault's going to have Thunder staking. So Vault's setting up with all these pillars this month. The wheel probably end of the month, maybe early December now, with the last pillar coming out at the end of November. The wheel's going to fuel all the pillars, which is going to fuel Vault. And then we're going to get into Thunder staking for Vault, which apparently the code's being written at the moment. So that's going to be pretty exciting. It's not on the list here, but Thunderbolt is coming. We want to call it Thunderbolt, but it's called a Vault staking at the moment. We think Thunderbolt's probably a better way. Is it what we call it? I think so. Hopefully I'm not getting confused there, but I think that's right. We've got Awesome V there coming up as well. Another pillar. Draco, I think it's another pillar. I think Draco's a pillar. I don't know if we've got a link to that. Codex, Ascendant coming up as well, and Flare, and there's many other projects. There's so many projects coming up now on the old TitanX. It's going to be principally benefiting Vault at the moment, and of course going to be benefiting Vault and Hyper. Those two are particularly getting a lot of support, as well as, I guess, Inferno from the Blaze team. Those are kind of 3 that are getting a lot of love at the moment. So that's kind of the play on that. But X28 is going to be huge. We haven't got Shogun on here at the moment, but Shogun obviously is the Magnus Opus for Jake Sharp, and that's going to be the first killer app on X28. So yeah, there's going to be a bit of a bonanza on X28 once people, and we'll get a lot of TitanX going through there. Remember, 50% of TitanX gets burned as it does, and of course you've also got to max your stakes. So you burn your stakes in there, you got to max it with TitanX. So if you don't have it, you're going to have to buy it. So keep a lookout for that. So pretty cool. All right, so that is that. Let's jump back into the mix here. We're at 53 minutes. Let's see here. We've got Northman. It says, what's liquidity there? I got to see Northman on this TitanX and others. Yeah, I think we looked at that already. Well, there we go. I got some pose exposure. Getting a few spammers in the house. Yeah, so please don't spam the chat. I don't know who that is, but what else? We got Crypto Law in the house there. Hey, Crypto Law, Vault Inu. It says Crypto Law. We're getting a bit of a spammers coming in. Let me see. Move that, and we're going to move that, and I will give you guys one more time. Using a timeout there. Put you in timeout. All right. So what else there? We got any other comments? Northman says, I think I have all my bags loaded ready. Most in Pulsechain and other layer 1 says Northman. Nice. You are getting ready for this massive move for sure. All right. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed today's coverage. Exciting times. We're probably going to do a bit more focus on Shogun next time. If you guys haven't got into our Discord, links in the video description. Only $5 a month, so only a cup of coffee. And if you want to get into that next level stuff, Strategy Club, we're passing intel in there all day long, 7 days a week. And you can have chats about different projects and pros and cons. That's $35 a month, so good value there. Get in there and become part of our Discord, which is just was it 11 to 1,200 people in there. Brian says Rich is on the ready. Hey Brian, I did all the moderating today. I did all the moderating. You guys, what are you guys doing? You guys drinking cups of tea or what? What's going on? Teas and scones up in where's Brian in Nebraska? I don't know. Let's see. Now, if you guys want to join a Strategy Club, that is the link to join. Brian's link, my link to Discord Strategy, way better than Wookiees, and just a good one to get in there. All right, hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you guys in probably another 2 days' time. We've got a lot of stuff happening at the moment, so taking a few extra days off here and there. But I'll be back on Saturday. Doing a lot of stuff in the house at the moment. Making coffee, says Wookie. Nice. I bet it's a good latte you're making. Check out Surge. I don't know why you spammers come in. You guys just sit around. I don't know. I don't think it could be automated. Who knows? Some people have got pretty clever stuff in the house. Right. Let's see. All right. Take care, everybody, and enjoy yourself. Have a good cup of coffee, and I'll catch you on a Saturday. This Kiwi time, which will be Friday. North Hemisphere. It's currently Thursday today, so there we go. I won't be on tomorrow, basically. Hey, we got Pulsechain. Hey, hello, aloha, says Paul. Hey, Paul, appreciate that. And Northern says, suit me in, great stream. Always thanks. Like it. Thanks very much for that. All right, take care. And I haven't got any videos to play out, but I'll leave it there. Catch you guys in Discord. And until then, enjoy your day. And I'll catch you on the next one. And bye, everyone. And take care.